Good morning, students. How are you? Hope you are hale and hearty and going on well with your study because you are greatly benefited by the online classes conducted by the teachers of your school. I have already taken 2 classes with you. The first class was on English first paper and the second one was on English second paper. In our previous class, that means English second paper, our topic was transformation of sentences. I discussed with you about the classification of sentences on the basis of structure. Before going to discuss the classification of sentences, we also discussed about phrases, clauses, finite verb and non-finite verb. Then we discussed about the kinds of sentences and how many kinds of sentences did we find: simple, complex and compound. What is a simple sentence? A simple sentence is a sentence which has only one main clause or principal clause or independent clause, but there may be some phrases as infinitive phrases, gerund, present participle phrases, past participle and also perfect participle. There may be also adverbial phrases in a simple sentence, but only one clause. In complex sentence, what did we find? We find in complex sentence one main clause or principal clause and one or more subordinate clauses. Then compound sentence. In compound sentence, what did we find? We find two or more main clauses and they are connected by coordinating conjunction. Now, dear students, today, as we have known or we have learned and we have been able to identify the sentences which are simple, which are complex and which are compound. I gave you also homework. Can you remember? To identify the clauses and the sentences. So today we'll discuss how can we make a simple sentence or turn a simple sentence into a complex sentence. So today our topics: transformation of sentences from simple to complex. Transformation of sentences simple to complex. Simple to complex. Dear students, we know that in a simple sentence there may be some phrases. So if the simple sentence is with infinitive phrase, then how can we make it into a complex sentence? You see here, we eat to live. You see here, we eat to live. Here the infinitive phrase is to live. Can you understand? To live. If infinitive phrase is used in a simple sentence, then we'll use here so that to make it complex. So what will it be? Will it be complex we eat so that we can live. You can use here we eat so that we may live. We may live. Here you can use here in place of can, may. You can live here may. Understand? So we eat to live. We eat so that we can live. You see here another sentence. My friend came here to help me. What is the difference between two sentences? We eat to live, it is in present tense. And here it is in my friend came here to help me. It is in we eat to live. Here it is present tense. My friend came here to help me. Here it is past tense. If it is past, then after so that only the modal will be changed. Then it will be could or might. So complex my friend came here so that he could help me. I think you are clear about this rule. That means if infinitive phrase is used in a simple sentence, then we will use so that to make it complex. Then if the simple sentence is by 2 dot dot 2, if 2 dot dot 2, we know if 2 is followed by 2, then 2 will be in negative. That means the meaning will be negative. Here you see our oil loan example here. The man is too weak to walk. The man is too weak to walk. Here 2 is followed by 2. Here, in order to make it complex, we'll use here for 2. So, and these 2 what? It will be negative. That means here will come cannot. So, complex the man is so weak that he can not walk. Can you understand it? The man is too weak to walk. The man is so weak that he cannot walk. Then if it is past tense, you see here, the boy was too small to touch the roof. Here will be who can tell me the difference between these two sentences? The difference is only here it is used is. That means it is present tense. Here was. That means it is past tense. So in present tense we can use can, but in past tense it will be could. So the boy was so small that he could not touch the roof. Okay, just to see here. But if in such kind of sentence you find there is for and after for there is an object, then in this clause the object will be the subject. See here, the sum is too difficult for me to do. Here you see, dear students, for and after for there is me, that means it is object. So here you see complex, the sum is so difficult that, here the subject me, that means I cannot do. The sum is so difficult that I cannot do. Dear students, you see here the sentences 2 dot dot 2 all are in active sense. But if it is in passive sense, then what would be the subject? You see here, the tea is too hot to be drunk. The tea is too hot to be drunk. Here we find to be drunk. That means it is in passive form. So here when we make it complex, the tea is so hot that it cannot be drunk. So here you see the structure of the simple sentences, and you also saw the way of making them complex. So here we find rules. One is infinitive, and then another is 2 dot dot 2. Then if it is by present participle, you see here going there, we found him absent. Going there, we found him absent. Here you see this is present participle. We found him absent, but through this present participle, what do we mean here? Here we mean time, because we found him absent when we went there. So here the main clause, the clause of the sentence is mainly in past form. So here will be complex when we went there, we found him absent. Then you see another example of present participle here. Running fast. The boy won the race. Here what we find, or what we see there? Here we find running fast, the boy won the race. That means the boy won the race. Why? Because he ran fast. So in order to make it complex, we use here as. That means as the boy ran fast, he won the race. Dear students, can you understand it? If a simple sentence is shown with the application of present participle, that means if present participle is used with a simple sentence, then in order to make it complex, if the present participle phrase means time, then in order to make it complex, we will use here when. But if the present participle phrase indicates or means the reason, then in order to make it complex, we will use here as. Then, dear students, we also know that adverbial phrases are also used in a simple sentence. You see here, because of my illness, I did not go to school. Here you see the adverbial phrases because of. It may be because of, or because may be replaced by on account of, or it may be replaced by owing to, or it may be replaced by due to. Then how can we, or how we will make them or turn them into complex sentence? As, because of, on account of, owing to, due to. They indicate cause or reason. Then in order to make them complex, we'll use here since or as or because. Can you understand? Okay, then you see here complex as I did not go to school. As I was ill, I did not go to school. In other words, since I was ill, I did not go to school. Next, because I was ill, I did not go to school. And you also know that these as or since or because, you can use them at the very beginning of the sentence, or you can use them in the middle of the sentence. If it is used at the beginning of the sentence, then the reason will come after as or because or since. If it is used in the middle of the sentence, then the reason will come next, and the result, the clause that indicate result, that will come first. And if they are used at the beginning of the sentence, then after the clause of reason, you have to put a comma. But if they are used in the middle, then you need not use a comma. Understand? So then what if I write? Because of my illness, I did not go to school. As I was ill, I did not go to school. Another example you see here. The boy was fined due to his late. Here you see, due to. The phrase is due to. The boy was fined due to his late. So what can we write here? Complex. The boy was fined because he was late. I think, dear students, it is clear to you, isn't it? It is clear to you. Then another phrases, that means in spite of or despite. If they are used in a simple sentence, then what can we use here? In order to make them complex, we'll use here though or although. Though or although. Here you see, in spite of my illness, I went to school. Students, you see here, because of my illness, I did not go to school. Here, they are cause and effect. But here you see, in spite of my illness, I went to school. What does it indicate? It indicates opposite meaning. As I was ill, I should go to a doctor, or I should have stayed at home, or I should not have gone to school. But here you see, in spite of my illness, I went to school. So they are opposite, and that's why when the parts or clauses of a sentence express opposite meaning, then we connect them by what? By though or although. In order to make a simple sentence into complex one, we use here though or although. So you see here, though I was ill, I went to school. You see, then he failed. He failed in the exam. He failed in the exam in spite of his good preparation. Good preparation. You see here, the boy or he had good preparation. That means he would do well in the exam. But it's a matter of sorrow, or it's a matter of regret that he failed in the exam. So what? How can we make it complex? We can make it complex. You see here, he failed in the exam. Though he had a good preparation. Though he had a good preparation. So, dear students, these are the rules that we have discussed today. I hope you have been able to understand my message, what I have tried to give you. Here we have found today simple sentence with infinitive, simple sentence with to, simple sentence with present participle, simple sentence with because of or on account of or due to or owing to, simple sentence with in spite of or despite, and we have tried our best to make them clear to you. I hope you have been able to understand it, and here are also some rules, but we have not enough time today that we can discuss today here. I hope at home you will just go through this. You will keep it in your mind, and next classes, before going to discuss other rules, next class I will give you some sentences to make them or to convert them from simple to complex. Hope you will be able to do that, and you will try your best. Thank you, my dear students. See you in our next class. Okay.